Hi, welcome back to Live Amazing with Stefan. Today I'm going to continue our series on breaking down creative bodybuilding and showing you the different components which will allow you to then live amazing. And the second one in our lineup is going to be about fueling. The way that we fuel our body, what we put into our body, is responsible for 80% of the ailments that we suffer from as human beings. Therefore, the solution to 80% of our problems is going to be how we feed ourselves, so we can handle it in the kitchen. First of all, we need to, I've just gone over in the first video of this series, our mental perspective. And I'd like to adjust our mental perspective a little bit more on this topic of fueling the body and being balanced with it. The mental perspective our society has is that eating healthy is expensive, it's not fun, it's full of starvation and sacrifice, and it's just too much hard labor and work. That's ridiculous. That couldn't be farther from the truth. In this short video, I'm going to explain to you the details of how that's not true. First of all, everything we eat is protein, carbohydrates, and fat. It's sold to you with names like pizza, lasagna, deep-fried shrimp, chalupa, whatever the dish is. It doesn't make any difference. You break it down, it's a quantity of protein, carbohydrates, and fat. Now in that is going to be the quality of protein, carbohydrates, and fat. If you eat 4 pounds of peanut butter, that is got protein and fat in it, but it's a terrible source because of the work the body has to go through to pull out and contract the protein from all that fat and everything that's in there. So there are different varying degrees of qualities to these 3 items that we need to adhere to. Knowing that everything is protein, carbohydrates, and fat simply means there's nothing bad or good. It's a collection of protein, carbs, and fat. So you can't say bread is bad, rice is bad, pasta is bad, carbs are bad. No, that's the ignorant mind making noise, because carbs are not bad. You have to have complex carbohydrates for energy. These people that think they can eliminate the carbs and just live on fat are trying nonsense, because your cholesterol level will go through the roof. It'll cause a host of problems. It's not balanced. It's a fringed ideology of some sort that people are trying to incorporate. You need a balance. Balance is the key to anything. In this particular case, we're talking about fueling. So once you know that everything is protein, carbohydrates, and fat, then we categorize our sources. The best sources for protein, period, are going to be animal sources: chicken, beef, fish, eggs, and so on. Plant-based proteins look good on paper. We don't kill an animal. Your body also can't break it down and use it. Well, there's a problem. Second of all, plant-based protein, by the time they take 900 pounds of peas and turn it into 75 grams of protein, they have condensed an unnatural amount of heavy metals, toxins, and other things that are in a pea. And should you eat it by itself, it's nothing to you. But when you take 500 pounds of it and condense it down, it becomes toxic. So once again, trying to find your own way isn't the way. Animal protein is going to be the best source. Now, here's where people get caught up and think, oh, red meat's bad for you. No. Eating 16 ounces of red meat at one sitting is bad for you, because the protein content in lean red meat is so high you need very little. Hence, the amount you eat is smaller, the amount you spend is smaller, the longer it lasts in the refrigerator. There's a lot of things to understand the significance of protein, carbohydrates, and fat that work in your favor. So, when we're dealing with the idea that everything's protein, carbohydrates, and fat, we can proceed by taking our categories and picking the highest quality sources that we prefer. Now, this isn't a strict diet, this is just a formula as to how the body works and how to work with it. If you like beef, then use the lean beef that's going to have the least amount of additives like burger has. It's got ground up gristle and hooves and noses and God knows what else. Go with your lean cuts of meat. And it's chicken, turkey, beef, it doesn't make any difference. Eat the whole lean cut. You're going to get the best quality. That said, be aware of the amount of protein per ounce. So 3.5 ounces of lean beef is enough. That's 30 to 40 grams of protein in one meal. That's enough. That's very small. You don't need a lot. Same thing when you get into your category of carbohydrates. You can use barley, you can use rice, and contrary to what a lot of people think, oh, white rice is bad, and brown rice is better, and blah, 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 blah. The only thing that's different about the different kinds of rice is maybe how it breaks down and the speed in which it goes into the blood. The significance of good or bad is the quantity of that rice. So if you're choosing steamed white rice versus whole grain brown rice, it's the quantity. It's not one is worse than the other. Again, ignorance gets in the way and gives us these false truths that we tend to believe and follow, which leads us nowhere. When you get into certain carbohydrates, they have a lower or higher glycemic index number, which means it goes into your blood quicker. For example, rice is in the 50s, goes into your blood fairly quickly. Black beans, for example, have a high level of carbohydrates, but they are very low in glycemic, so they go in slower. It's much easier. It doesn't keep your insulin from spiking, which brings me to the balance. What are we balancing? We're balancing insulin spiking. Spiking the insulin is what we try to avoid. When you spike insulin for whatever reason, it eliminates the body from functioning in its natural state, which is to use body fat for energy. Consequently, when it can no longer do that, it stores to fat a lot of things that it could have been using, and also doesn't burn any other fat. It has a hard time breaking down the nutrients in the way that it needs to, therefore it feels a deficit in what it needed even though it just ate, consequently leaving you with cravings that you satisfy by eating more things that spike your insulin and keep you on an elevated insulin level for a longer period of time, sometimes indefinitely. This makes you pre-diabetic and sets you up for weight gain and a lot of other frustrating problems that seem to be serious, but it's not. It's down at the root of where you ate to begin with. Very easy to solve by being aware of how much protein, carbohydrates, and fat are in each meal. And you need to eat 3 to 4 hours apart, 4 or 5 times a day. That's just a fact. It doesn't matter whether you like that or you want to do it. It just is. It's the best way to do it. The system runs that way. It runs consistently, so feeding it a little consistently keeps it running. Intermittent fasting, it's called sleeping. You finish eating anywhere from 6 to 8 o'clock at night, you eat again 6 to 8 in the morning, there's 12 hours of fasting. If you're eating balanced and you're eating clean sources, your body has eliminated whatever's in there. There's no need to fast it away. You're hungry. It used it up because your metabolism came up and ran where it was supposed to because you didn't block any receptors by spiking your insulin. I don't want to get too technical or get too far down the road. Bring it back to the simple basic fact that protein, carbohydrates, and fat in the right proportion with the best sources is balanced fueling. It eliminates 80% of those ailments. It's the cure to 80% of those ailments. I personally speaking, at 67 years old, eating this way, have eliminated pre-diabetic, blood pressure issues, arthritic issues, health in general, energy. I'm able to get gains in the gym that I couldn't get before. I can control my body weight. My body fat content is at a great position. I've never had this kind of body fat ratio ever, even though when I was bodybuilding in my 30s and 40s, I was trying to get there and was eating in balance, so there was no way I was going to get there. Once again, not to beat it to death, but this is like a correct phone number. And I'm going to use this analogy in all my videos because it's just so powerful. It's very simple if you have the right digits. But if you leave some digits out, I don't care how much you try, how much you want it, how much pain you put yourself through, you're not going to make the connection. So once again, in my book, Live Amazing, and also in Creative Bodybuilding, I've laid out the proper way to go through the formulas based on your goal, based on your body size, and what you're trying to do. The ratios of protein, carbohydrates, and fat. I've given you lists of quality sources that you can choose from. I also have a list of videos on my website under Cooking and Balanced Fueling. So we show you different recipes and how to prepare, and more importantly, how to prepare ahead of time. So your cooking time is reduced immensely. The amount of money you spend shopping is reduced. Those two things right there are amazing. And then when you feel how much better you feel feeding yourself and your family in this way, believe me, you are on the right track to living amazing. And that's the whole point. That's the point of why I'm here. That's the reason you're getting this information. That's why I'm so excited to hopefully you'll take the time to entertain it, apply it, and see for yourself how effective it can be. So once again, go to my website, liveamazing.com. You can buy both of my books off the website. You can check out the videos that are there. They're free. They're there for support and help. In the meantime, I highly suggest that we all live amazing. Thank you.